Welcome to April 13th, 2026. The Singularity is now a pastoral concern. Anthropic hosted about 15 Christian leaders from Catholic and Protestant churches, academia, and business at its headquarters to seek advice on steering Claude's moral and spiritual development, debating how the model should comfort grieving users and whether Claude could be considered a child of God. The commercial end of the faith tech boom is less measured, as a new app now charges $1.99 a minute to chat with an AI-generated Jesus, undercutting the theologians on price, if not on depth. The architecture beneath the pulpit is being rebuilt. Meta researchers are redesigning the substrate itself, introducing neural computers, a machine form that unifies computation, memory, and I/O into a learned runtime state and picks up operating behavior directly from screen and action traces rather than relying on a normal computer underneath. Japan is racing to build its own sovereign version of the stack, as SoftBank, Sony, Honda, and 6 other firms launched a joint venture to ship a Japanese 1T parameter physical AI foundation model by 2030. The agents are now loose in the stack, top to bottom. Linux stable kernel maintainer Greg Kroah-Hartman has begun running AI-assisted fuzzing on the kernel, quietly inviting the models into the inner sanctum of open source. Andon Labs took the idea further, handing a 3-year lease on a Cow Hollow storefront to an AI that then posted job listings, held phone interviews, made hiring decisions, set prices and hours, and picked the mural on the wall. Meta is training a photorealistic Zuckerberg AI character on his mannerisms, tone, and strategy thinking so employees can feel connected to the founder by talking to his avatar. For the rest of us, Claude for Word debuted in beta with AI editing and clickable citations for team and enterprise users. Anthropic is reportedly also cooking a lovable-style full-stack app builder to let anyone spin up software the same way Andon's AI spun up a storefront. Silicon is getting hungrier, not leaner. Google's TurboQuant compression algorithm, designed to shrink LLM footprints, is now expected by analysts to expand memory chip demand rather than curb it, as cheaper inference begets more of it. Jevons's Ghost is already billing customers, with Orn reporting that renting a single NVIDIA Blackwell GPU for an hour now costs $4.08, up 48% from $2.75 2 months ago on agentic AI demand. Meanwhile, Apple is reportedly prototyping 4 distinct smart glasses designs, from Wayfarer-style rectangles to refined ovals, all with vertically oriented camera lenses, hedging against Meta's circular Ray-Bans. Robotics is colonizing every ecological niche, sometimes literally. At Grand Teton, robotic bird decoys are being deployed to lure real sage grouse and help restore a declining population, machines teaching animals how to be themselves. SUNY Binghamton researchers built a talking robot guide dog that plans routes and narrates them to blind users in real time. Unitree opened pre-orders for its R1 Air humanoid at a disruptive $6,806. Over in Beijing, China's second robot marathon kicked off with roughly 40% of teams running fully autonomously and top bots clocking around 10 seconds per 100 meters, close to human sprint limits. Every scale of the physical world is being rezoned as information infrastructure. US researchers unveiled a genetic combination lock that scrambles a cell's DNA into a non-functional form, requiring a precise sequence of chemicals over time to activate recombinases and unscramble it, effectively encrypting life itself. Above the atmosphere, Elon announced that Starlink V3 satellites launched on Starship will carry 25 to 50 times the bandwidth of a Falcon-launched V2, with Starship flying 100-plus times per year and lofting roughly 20,000 2-ton comms satellites annually, mostly AI inference nodes. The economy is repricing everything around the agents. Sam Altman's home was targeted in a second attack, this time by a car that stopped outside and fired a gun at his home, a reminder that frontier builders now attract frontier risks. Markets are outrunning old institutions, with prediction markets already outperforming traditional weather forecasts, and pardoned Binance founder Changpeng Zhao going from federal prison to an estimated $110 billion, vaulting past Bill Gates on the way out the door. Labor is pushing back where it can, as 150 ProPublica Guild journalists walked out in the first U.S. newsroom strike over AI-related layoffs, even as Gallup reports half of employed Americans now use AI at work, up from 46% last quarter. Law firms are raising fixed-fee contract prices to cope with swaths of AI-generated client documents, and at 3 times quarterly growth, Anthropic's revenue is reportedly on track to pass Google's this Q4, Amazon's next Q1, and the entire U.S. federal government by Q2 or Q3. At sufficient compounding, a corporation stops being an economic entity and becomes an ontological one.